Let me ask you something a bit personal to start us off today. What is the very first thing you do when you open your eyes in the morning? And be honest. Do you reach for your phone and doom scroll through the news, or do you lie there and tell yourself how amazing you are?
That is a loaded question. If I'm being honest, for years it was the phone, instant anxiety, right? But lately, I've been experimenting with something different. I've been looking into the concept of conscious programming. Essentially, the idea that the first few minutes of your day are when your brain is most pliable, almost like wet clay.
Wet clay. I like that image, but it sounds a bit like that classic self-help trope, doesn't it? Standing in front of a mirror, forcing a smile and chanting, "I am successful," while you're actually worrying about a deadline. Is there actual substance to this, or is it just toxic positivity?
That is exactly the skepticism we need to address. Because if you just view it as chanting, it feels fake. But based on the material we're looking at today, specifically this approach to morning affirmations, it's not about pretending. It's about neuroplasticity. It's about the mechanism of repetition. The source material suggests a specific time frame, 21 days.
21 days. I've heard that number thrown around a lot regarding habit formation. Why is that the magic number?
It's the minimum viable threshold for the brain to accept a new baseline. Think of your mind like a dense forest. If you walk a new path once, the grass springs back up immediately. You can't even tell you were there. But if you walk that same path every single morning for 3 weeks, you start to wear down a trail. The neurons begin to fire together. The material emphasizes that you can't just listen once. You have to commit to the cycle to actually reprogram the subconscious.
So, we're essentially talking about software engineering for the human brain.
Precisely. And the code we are writing covers specific verticals: health, abundance, relationships, and this is the big one, forgiveness.
Let's dig into that, because abundance is a word that gets thrown around a lot in these circles. The text mentions affirmations like, "Money comes to me easily," or "I am a magnet for success." Now, for the listener stuck in traffic right now worrying about rent, that might sound almost insulting. How do we bridge that gap between current reality and these statements?
That's the crucial part. It's not about denying reality. It's about shifting your receptivity. When the affirmation says, "I am open to receiving abundance," or "money arrives in expected and unexpected ways," it's trying to break the scarcity loop. If you wake up thinking, "I'm broke, this is hard, I'm stuck," your brain's reticular activating system, the filter that decides what you notice, will only show you evidence that confirms you are stuck.
Right, it's the confirmation bias. You're looking for problems, so you find them.
Exactly. But if you start the day asserting, "I am prosperous, my creativity is valuable," you are priming that filter to look for opportunities. It's a subtle shift, but over time it changes how you react to the world. You stop walking past open doors because you're too busy staring at the floor.
I see. So it's less about magic, poof, here's a bag of cash, and more about changing your posture towards the world.
Yes, and the material adds a very specific ingredient that makes this work: emotion. You can't just robotically read the script. You have to feel the gratitude, as if it has already happened.
That's the fake it till you make it part, but deeper.
It's feel it until you become it. The text mentions connecting with the vibration of the words. If you say, "I am healthy," but you feel fear about your body, the fear wins. You have to summon the feeling of vitality first. It's a rehearsal. You are rehearsing the emotional state of the future you want.
That reminds me of high-level athletes visualizing the perfect shot before they take it. Their body reacts as if they've already done it.
Spot on. And this script applies that to everything. Take relationships, for example. There's a beautiful section about attracting meaningful connections. It doesn't just say, "I want friends." It says, "I'm a magnet for relationships that respect and value my authenticity."
That's a heavy distinction. It places the responsibility on you to be authentic first.
It does. And it circles back to self-worth. One of the core affirmations is simply, "I am sufficient as I am." In a world that is constantly trying to sell us things to fix us, makeup, cars, status, claiming that you are already enough is actually a radical act of rebellion.
It really is. It's stopping the chase. But I noticed something else in the text that I found interesting. It talks about releasing the past. Why is forgiveness such a big part of an abundance mindset? Usually we think of abundance as getting more stuff, not letting go of stuff.
That is such a profound observation. Think of it this way. You cannot receive anything new if your hands are full of old junk. If you are holding on to resentment, regret, or old narratives about how you failed 5 years ago, there is literally no mental space for new opportunities. The affirmation, "I release the past with love," is essentially clearing the cache on your computer so it can run faster.
I love that, clearing the cache. Because we all have that lagging browser tab open in our brains, playing some embarrassing memory from 2015 on a loop.
Laughs exactly. And until you close that tab, you can't focus on the present. The script mentions that, "The past is gone. I focus on the present with gratitude." It's about reclaiming your energy. Resentment is expensive. It costs you energy to stay angry.
Resentment is expensive. I'm going to write that down. So we've got the 21-day habit, the emotional connection, and the clearing of the past. But let's play devil's advocate for a second. What happens on day 4 or day 5 when you're doing this and you just don't feel it? You wake up, you're grumpy, the coffee spilled. Do you just power through?
The recommendation is consistency over perfection. Even if you don't feel it 100%, the act of showing up for yourself matters. The text says, "My mind processes it even if I just listen." It's like watering a plant. You don't see the flower the day after you water it. You might look at the dirt for 2 weeks thinking, "This is stupid, nothing is happening."
But underneath the soil, the roots are expanding.
Exactly. The text uses the metaphor of planting seeds. Every affirmation is a seed. If you dig it up every day to check if it's growing, you kill it. You have to trust the process. That's where the spiritual element comes in, the trusting the divine process or the universe. It's surrendering the need to control the exact timing of the results.
That surrender is hard for modern minds. We want Amazon Prime delivery on our life goals. I ordered success yesterday. Why isn't it here?
Laughs right. But nature doesn't work on prime delivery. And this is really about aligning yourself with natural rhythms. There's a line in the text, "I am in harmony with the universe." That implies a flow. If you are constantly fighting, stressing, and forcing, you are creating resistance. These affirmations are designed to put you in a state of flow, where things feel easier, not because the world changed, but because you stopped fighting the current.
It's interesting how holistic this is. It covers the body too, that every cell in my body regenerates in perfection. It's bringing that intention down to the biological level.
It is. And there's science to support that stress reduction, which is what this practice ultimately is, boosts the immune system. If you start the day telling your body, "We are strong, we are healthy," you are lowering cortisol. If you start the day stressing, you're spiking inflammation. So, in a very literal sense, these words contribute to your physical reality.
It's the placebo effect, but utilized on purpose.
The placebo effect is just proof that the mind can heal the body. Why not use it?
So as we start to wrap this up, I'm thinking about the listener who wants to try this, the 21-day challenge. It sounds simple, but we know simple isn't always easy. What is the biggest barrier to sticking with this?
The biggest barrier is cynicism. It's that little voice that says, "This is silly, I'm talking to myself." It's the fear of looking foolish, even to ourselves. But you have to ask yourself, is the narrative I'm currently living working for me? If you are stressed, feeling lacking, or feeling stuck, you are already repeating affirmations, they're just negative ones.
Oof, that hits home. I'm so tired. I never have enough time. I'm bad with money. Those are affirmations too.
They are powerful affirmations. And you've probably been repeating them for years, which is why they manifest so accurately in your life. The goal here is to interrupt that broadcast, to hijack the station and play a new song.
And the ripple effect? The text mentions that when you change, it impacts those around you.
That's the beautiful ending note. What you give returns multiplied. When you become a person who is full of gratitude, peace, and self-love, you become easier to live with. You become a better employee, a better partner, a better parent. You aren't looking to others to fill your cup because your cup is already overflowing.
You become a generator of energy rather than a consumer of it.
Exactly. You become the light. And that is not just poetic, it's practical. People want to be around people who feel good. Success gravitates toward that energy. So by working on your internal world, you inevitably change your external world.
It's a powerful reframing. It takes the focus off getting things and puts it on becoming someone.
And once you become, the getting happens automatically.
Well, I think that's our challenge for everyone listening. 21 days. Give yourself the morning. Before the emails, before the news, plant those seeds.
Water them with gratitude and see what blooms.
If you try it, let us know what changes, even if it's just that you're smiling a little more in traffic. Thanks for diving deep with us today.
A pleasure as always. Remember, you are the architect of your reality.
See you next time.